Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Okay, are y'all hearing me now? I think y'all can hear me now, right? Can y'all hear me? One in the chat if y'all can hear me, family. Check, check. Okay, I think y'all can hear me now, right? Malage all the time, man. All the time with the sound. I apologize. Family, what is poppin'? We are back like crack, baby. Oh man, I apologize again. You know, it's not a feature show unless there's an issue with the sound, right? You don't know. You don't know. And you can't have a feature show without an issue with the sound. But we are back. We are back. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the features. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, baby. Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. As you know, we got a hella haters up in here. And boy, we got a very, 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 very hot show for you tonight, inshallah. You know, I was really just debating whether or not I should cover this topic, but because I seen Muslim woman actually refer to this particular individual, Princella, and I had talked about her before, and this whole thing recently just blew up, and it was pretty much exactly how I called it again. As you know, Negro Damas has foretold it, and you can see, for those of y'all, my day ones, you see my predictions. You know, the Negro Damas predictions coming true all the time. Y'all seen what happened with Muhammad Hijab recently with Pearly, just Pearly. Y'all are going bonkers about that one because we called it. We called it. And now with this one, with Princella, this is another thing that we called. So family, for those of y'all who don't know who Princella is, Princella, the funny looking fella, Princella is a very, very, very popular YouTuber who essentially advises women to blow up their marriages. This is how she uses her platform. She uses her platform to encourage women to blow up their relationships, particularly with black men, and either embrace lesbianism or die alone, as she says it. Princella is a soothsaying, tarot card reading astrologist. Yeah, she's into all that kind of stuff. And she has the gift of gab. And I talked about her on other platforms as well. And what I said about her was that she seems to be very intelligent and sociopathic. This is what I said. That's what I said. Okay. So, but she's very popular. Very, very popular. And she is kind of like, you can say, the anti-Kevin Samuels or whatnot. What you got to understand about Princella is, first of all, is that she's not original. So if you don't know who she is, you're about to know in about 2 seconds. All right, right. But it's actually quite important that we cover this particular topic, and you'll see why at the end. And why this topic is important, because again, it's not one of these types of, because we don't particularly talk about people on the features for no reason, right? There's always method to the madness, right? So anyways, family, she's not original, okay? What she does is she gets her entire persona from other men, even their talking points, and I mean verbatim, not just like, trying to mix the talking points. I mean like verbatim talking points. And she's able to spin the talking points of men for the very purpose that we discussed, of getting women to withdraw from their stable relationships, okay? Giving women the idea to embrace lesbianism and whatnot, and either to embrace lesbianism or to embrace single motherhood. Y'all feel me? Y'all hearing what I'm saying? And what I said before is that, well, I didn't say it on this channel, I said it on some other platforms, that she is actually quite intelligent, and she comes off to me as somebody who is a sociopath, right? That's how she came off to me. And if she, or these types of people who have what are those things? Those disorders, those social. So I can't remember what they call. Somebody can type it in the chat, anyways, right? Those types of psychopaths and sociopaths, and these people who display high intelligence but don't have any empathy. That's how she came across them. And you don't get a following like her unless you have some high intelligence. But I digress. As I mentioned before, she's not really original. She takes bits and pieces here from other men. For example, Angry Man. We talked about Angry Man on this channel before as well. Okay? Her persona, if you look, actually, you know what? Let me just show y'all, okay? Because y'all ain't going to believe this, right? Right, so I'm going to show y'all so that you can see that I am not tripping. Okay? Like, subscribe, share me up on Patreon, family. 1 second, family. Let me just get this for y'all. Let me get this up, y'all. 1 second, family. Okay, so let's go over here. All right. Let me just close this down. Now I'm going to show you a side by side, okay? I just got these just now, okay? And y'all tell me if I am tripping or not, okay? So this right here is Angry Man. That's what he looked like. I think a lot of y'all know who Angry Man is. He's been in the Black Manosphere. It's like one of the OGs of the Black Manosphere. Has a very, very, very large channel. Okay. And he has a very large following. So that's Angry Man. This right here, that's Princella. That is Princella. I kid you not, family. Somebody tell me they don't look, they ain't twinning. Somebody tell me that Princella don't look like Angry Man, just shaved his beard. So that's what I mean by what she does is that she adopts the personas of other people to build her platform. She's not original, but what she does is she kind of mixes a whole bunch of different personalities, combines them in one personality, and makes it her own. So Princella is essentially, she's 50% Angry Man. She's 50% Kevin Samuels. Buy a dog. Buy a dog. Die alone. Okay. She's 50% Jesse Jackson. I am somebody. Okay. She's 50% Louis Farrakhan. Do for self, black woman. But most of all, she's 100% cult leading sociopath. Straight up. She's 100% cult leading sociopath. This is who she is. And I picked up on that when I started watching her videos. I was saying, this lady, I'm like, and I said this publicly, and Great Pill, he knows, okay? Great Pill, Great Pill podcast in the chat. Shout out to Great Pill, but he knows, all right? But I digress. Essentially, she built this persona from stealing from other people, borrowing from other people. Okay? So we are going to watch this clip, right? And I'm going to show you why in a minute. Right? This is from a clip from a debate she did on the Peef network. Okay? So let's watch this, y'all. 1 second, family. Let me get this up. Like, subscribe, share, hip hop Patreon. So anyway, y'all can see. 1 second, fam. Y'all can see here that the optics of this is bad enough, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men on this panel, and Princella is pretty much debating the whole panel by herself, and she is still running circles around these dudes. Okay. And when I saw this, I'm like, why can't these dudes answer a simple question? You know what I mean? Like it looked terrible. But the point is, I left a comment on this debate, and this is what I said. I said, Princella wiped the floor with this panel, and I don't even agree with that dude most of the times. She was the only man on the panel not spewing an emotional reactionary diatribe. Okay? That's what I said. Okay? All right? 1 second, family. No sound? Oh, come on, family. No sound? Oh, 1 second, family. 1 second. Let me just go back here. 1 second. Let me see. Why is there no sound now? Let me go back. You know it's not a features show unless the sound is messed up. So we got to mess up 1 or 2 times with the sound. So y'all didn't hear anything. And we play that out. Okay, no worries. 1 second, family. One second. Let me just fix this for y'all. Okay, let's see if we got sound now. Okay, let's see if the sound works. 1 second, family. Go back. Rewind this. One second. Okay, let's go over here. One more again? Okay, one more again. 1 second, family. Let me go over here. Go over here.
Right? Y'all's purpose, y'all don't even really have a purpose without a woman, because biologically your ultimate objective biologically is to get.
Y'all got sound now? I think y'all got
according
sound
to the topic
now, right?
we just discussed, that if you allow a man to move in, or you allow to join with a man when a woman is the breadwinner and all he got to do is pay the light bill, she said the woman is stupid for that. My question to her is, why would it be stupid?
Yeah, I explained that because by nature, women are resource dependent. They're not male dependent, okay? Men are female dependent, right? Y'all's purpose, y'all don't even really have a purpose without a woman, because biologically, your ultimate objective, biologically, is to get your genes in another body, okay? So y'all are pursuing women for everything you're pursuing her for is because you need something from her. It doesn't matter if it's ego stroking, sex, family, baby, all that stuff. The only reason why we are even having this conversation is because the elites flip nature on his head and put all the resources into male control, forcing women into what you call hypergamy, which is not a natural state for a woman. That is actually a response to stimuli. Okay, so hypergamy is a response to this artificial creation that has happened. So when women, since women are nature's resources, when women have resources, they don't need men. Men typically need women to be destitute, okay, and broke and dumb in order to get their hands on them. So when women don't need that, they have no business allowing a man who has not developed himself, who actually needs her, to make it easy for him, to give him a place to stay, to give him sex, to give him all of these rewards that he should be earning. These women should not be dealing with those males. And
I disagree. Yeah. I disagree because of the fact that if a woman wants these men, then there's a sacrifice that's worthy of taking or accepting. So if a woman wants these men, then there's nothing wrong with her making those sacrifices
Yeah, you see, this is what I was talking about. This is not an argument what he just made here. That's not a point, right? And it went like this for pretty much the entire podcast until she left. You feel me? So that's why I said in my comment that I just had, that's why I said this. I said, Princella wiped the floor with this panel. I don't even agree with that dude most of the times, but she's the only man on the panel not spewing an emotionally reactionary diatribe. I said what I said. I said what I said. So anyways, this funny looking fella named Princella, she's got a whole marriage with a man, and she got a whole child with a man and everything like that. Right? And she still is trying to convince women, particularly black women, to continue blowing up their families. And she's saying the black family is a result of white supremacy and all that kind of stuff. Right? That's how she positioned it. Okay. Well. Don't we got something for y'all tonight? Do we not have something for y'all tonight? Looky here, family. Especially those of us who are Muslim, we can't pretend that things that are actually happening, particularly in the black community, are not happening. We can't pretend like we are not witnessing the rise of, you know, the L's, the B's, the G's, the Q's within the black community and the Muslim community, and both the black Muslim community. We can't pretend like this ain't happening. This is happening. It's happening all over the place. And it's happening because of this situation where you have folks blowing up their relationships and blowing up their families and leaving their children to grow up in single parent households. So let me just fast track you to what leads us to today and why we are talking about Princella today. One of the women who used to be in the black manosphere is a woman named B. Taylor. Okay, she's another quite popular YouTuber, but she got popular from dealing in the black manosphere. Okay, and she absconded from the black manosphere because she is, you know, a baby mama. Okay, she has 2 kids from two different men, and she got tired of, you know, basically being put down in the black manosphere. And then she came across Princella. She came across Princella, and she did a whole podcast about Princella, because Princella, she always attacking the black manosphere and whatnot. And Princella and this B. Taylor did a whole thing about, you know, why the black manosphere is wrong and blah, 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 and all the kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you. Remember, we told y'all that Princella, she's trying to convince black women to turn to lesbianism, correct? And at the same time, as you saw there, she's outrageously masculine. She like a whole man. She is exactly like a whole man, talking about female energy and whatnot. She got no feminine energy. You get me? She's talking about being men this and what men that. Meanwhile, she might as well be a man. But I digress. This B. Taylor, and I know it sounds like a whole bunch of YouTube drama and whatnot, but I promise you, we're going somewhere with this. This B. Taylor, she eventually got into a whole kind of like a relationship, you could say, with Princella. Okay, I'm gonna let you all see what she got to say. Okay, I know it sounds like some strange stuff right now, but believe me, we're going somewhere with this. We are going somewhere with this. Okay, like, subscribe, share me up on Patreon. 1 second, family. Now watch this, y'all.
I triggered her, and she would hit things. She would hit a table. She would hit the steering wheel. She would yell to the point of spit flying out of her mouth. And I realized I fucked up. I was like, what have I got myself into? But when she fell out with Daryl, why would I want to go against somebody like that? Why would I be brave enough to speak out and tell my truth? I was scared to say what or walk away from her, but I did call a friend. And even before that, let me rewind back for Thanksgiving. I did bring her to my family house to meet my family. And everybody got weird energy from her in person. Everybody, nobody was like, where did she come from and who is she? My sisters were saying, I don't like her energy for you. I don't like her energy. There's something about her. And my oldest sister deadass told me, I think she's preying on you because you're at a vulnerable place in your life. You lost a best friend and you broke off a lot of people say engagement, but it broke off my relationship with my son's father. And so you're in a vulnerable place right now. And I feel like she's preying on that. And I was like, no, she just been through a lot in life. You know, when P gets on here and talk about her grape situation and all that type of stuff, that pulls at people's heart. That tugs at people's heart. That tugs at women's heart to sympathize and empathize with her. But she uses those stories to gain the sympathy from women, you know? And that's not to say she hasn't been through that. It's just like, because she's been through that, that makes people kind of excuse her behavior, you know? And I caught myself as an empath. I was excusing her behavior. I kept making excuses for it.
So anyway, this is one of the things I picked up on real quick with Princella, right? So anyways, let's keep watching, yo. Well, don't worry, it's going to get good.
So I found myself not being able to call anybody to tell them about P without it feeling, because every time I would call somebody about her, it's like they would be like, I told you, get away from her. I started even talking to a coworker about it, and she was a previous lesbian, and she was like, I'm telling you, B. Taylor, this is not normal. She sounds emotionally abusive. This is not normal. And I was just like, no, you know, but I did do, I'm like making excuses of this is what I did though. I did say this to make her upset. And I did tell her about my feelings. Every time I brought up my feelings and how I felt, it was a burden. It was anger. It was met with anger and like dismissiveness. And, you know, she told me, I'll never forget, she told me when I told her, like, can you stop yelling at me? Because that makes me feel small inside. And she verbatim told me, like, well, don't trigger me to yell at you. Okay, don't trigger me to yell at you. So imagine if this was an opposite relationship and that person said, don't do this to make me yell at you or hit you.
So the same men that she is saying does this stuff, she actually does that stuff, right? But I digress, man. Let's keep watching, y'all. Let's keep watching. Don't worry. We're gonna get to it. The nitty-gritty.
Or hit things and yell. She made it seem like we got in an argument about her coming to my place because I didn't. She got on her live and said, I only spent the night at her place one time. No, I have not. I spent the night at her house multiple times. The reason why I didn't like to go to her house because she did not live like a woman. She lived, and I'm not even gonna say she lived like a man because I know plenty of men who take care of their home, you know. And I told her about her mattress. I'm like, your mattress is, it got pee stains, it got holes in it, like
a dirty girl.
Unbelievable. Let's keep watching you.
Why are you sleeping on a mattress like this? Like, go get you a nice mattress. Go get you
a dirty girl.
A mattress like mine or something. So her and her child sleeps on that mattress. So, you know, I also felt obligated as a mother to step in and help her out with her daughter. And when I bring up her daughter, this is not to go low. This is not to make her a villain, but this is to tell my truth. And I cannot keep lying. Women have asked, does Maya go to school? The girl is 5 years old, going on 6, and have never been in a school. She was not getting homeschooled. She was in front of the TV all day. Everybody know that her child has autism.
This is the QueenBreaker. This woman. She's the one that's telling y'all to leave your men and whatnot. Meanwhile, you don't need a man to take care of you, but she can't take care of her own child. And she can't even take care of her own house, according to the witness here.
A dirty girl.
Just keep watching, y'all.
She has not gotten her daughter tested for autism. It took me saying, let's go get her tested for autism. Let's get her into this daycare program so she can be around other kids. So now she's in a daycare program that I have my kids in, so she can be around other kids and learn. She don't read to her. She don't teach her anything. She don't have a mentor, a tutor. She don't give her any type of school lessons.
Princella family. Princella, this is who she is, family. Let's keep watching.
At 5, I think she's supposed to be at least in kindergarten or something. She hasn't been to pre-K. She hasn't been to kindergarten. She was just like, you know, so she's behind on a lot of things, and she has.
Don't need a man. Just like millions of other black women all over the West don't need a man. And she's the one out. This is the woman out here telling y'all that you don't need a man, and y'all following her. Let's keep watching, y'all.
She's on the spectrum, and also when I came in, I was like, I started to notice that why is it that your child is up all night and you're asleep, and you know your child is up all night and you're asleep, and you let her sleep through the day. And when I asked you about that, you said, well, it's easier for you to get business done. I said that's not healthy.
A dirty girl.
She let her child stay up all night at 5 years old. And if you're black, you know somebody like this. Maybe your family member, maybe your friend. And it's always some single mother somewhere doing this nonsense. But I digress. Let's keep watching, y'all.
For a child to be in an environment like that, because she needs a schedule. It's not healthy for children to not be on a schedule. It's not healthy. And so when she, oh, sorry, I can hear myself. Yeah. I can hear, I don't know if you're playing the thing. I can hear myself. All right. Sorry. Okay, it's good. I was just like, I could just hear myself echo. It's telling y'all, sorry. So I was like, let's get her on a schedule. She yelled at me about that. She was like, I don't got time to be on schedule. I didn't even want to be a mother. I was forced into this. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. She's like, no, you don't understand. I don't got support. I don't got help. And I'm like, okay, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. I'm a mother as well. Like, I got 2 kids, you know, like I got you. I understand, but these kids need a schedule. They need discipline. They need, you know, they need a schedule. It's healthy for them to have some type of schedule. And she yelled at me about that because she was like, you only care about what Amaya wants and not about what matters to me. I don't like schedules. And I said, yeah, but when you have a child, you got to get on a schedule. So when they started coming over to my house, I started making her child go to bed at 8:30. And guess what? Her baby was going to bed at 8:30. Her daughter now goes to sleep at night because I set her a bed schedule. I put some type of structure in her child's life. Her child is in school now, like at a daycare program. She now goes to bed at night, and I got her to start fixing her daughter breakfast because I noticed that when her schedule started, you know, she wake up through the day. And a lot of y'all ask like, damn, do P spend time with her daughter? How can you spend time with your daughter when you're online all day, every day? Who's feeding her? So she gets into stuff. She starts feeding herself. She had to learn how to go in the kitchen and make stuff for herself because mama can't feed you if mama's busy online. And I noticed that, and I'm like, hey, like, you know, incidents where her daughter had 104 temperature. I'm like, take her to the ER. Like, you can't just, do you have Tylenol? How you don't have kids Tylenol at your house? Like, get her some Tylenol. Like, okay, she didn't have this fever for like a week. My little ones, when they have a fever longer than 2 days, they at the doctors. I'm like, take her to the doctors, take her here, take her there, take her to the dentist. Why am I telling you to be a fucking mom to your child? That's why I felt obligated to also stick around. And I was scared as shit to just leave and break up with you because if you got mad, it was going to hit the internet. I tried to avoid all of this right here. All of this right here, I tried to avoid. And I knew.
A dirty girl.
I like that one, man. Anyways, family. Wow, man. Anyways. We all know somebody like this. We all know somebody, particularly if in the Black community, where everything in life is everybody's fault except for the no accountability, you know. And when you combine narcissistic behavior with the internet and the gift of gab, you get folks like Princella. And I promise you, most of the people that you listen to on YouTube, most of the people you listen to on YouTube, they like this because you can build a persona from scratch and put it online, and then people start believing that. Y'all feeling me? But this ain't even the craziest stuff here. This stuff is crazy, but we're getting to more crazier stuff. Right, so let me just cue this up for y'all because I don't want to drag this live too long. Right, but I want to get to the meat and potatoes of why we're doing this live. Right, give me a second, y'all. Let me just cue this up, y'all. 1 second, family. All right, let's go over here.
A dirty girl.
I mean, getting mad. All I did was, like, I got frustrated about we were late to the gala, and I was like, oh my God. And she was like, well, what do you want me to? Like, she started yelling at me about it. Like, and then she would say I triggered her by being emotional, and then she would get online and talk about me on her TikTok. Oh, I can't stand emotional people. When I'm just going through
gaslighting. That is atypical narcissistic behavior. Right? Remember, I was saying that she comes off as somebody like what are these sociopath or these what are those things? Those are things they're called, like social disorder, or whatever. One of these things, right? Antisocial disorder. She comes off like that. Because she's always blaming other people for the world's problems. You get me? So now this is a real life situation. You have two YouTubers. I personally can only speculate that Princella intentionally sought this, and she did. She actually did. If you listen to what B. Taylor is saying, she's the one who sought the relationship. She's the one who pushed it. Y'all can check the whole thing by yourself, And B. Taylor, after this experience, she said she's not even gay at all, right? But after this experience, B. Taylor is all like, yep, she's delivered. She's delivered. This experience scared her straight. Pun intended. But I digress, family. Let's keep watching, y'all.
Like, she was like making fun of me. That video that everybody's using to match up, as in Priscilla breaking up with me video, no. That was Priscilla making fun of me video. That was Priscilla talking about my business, and I never brought it to the internet. I never spoke up for myself. She would get online and throw subliminal shades at me when she was mad at me. She cannot take a lot of stress, and that's what she kept saying. She literally cannot take a lot of stress. So she would get on her, she would do things like, I remember the first time we got in a real argument, she was at the bar drinking, and I was like, we talked about therapy. I've been in therapy for 2 years, but she was like, oh, I don't believe in therapy. I healed myself. I'm healed myself. No, you're not. You're not healed at all. Not healed at all. And this is not to discredit some of the things that she said, because I think that a lot of things that she do say do stand true in a lot of truth in science and sociology, psychology, and biology. I learned a lot through that. But I think when it comes to a point of her trying to persuade women to not deal with men, I don't think that that's fair. I have women who deal with men my entire life. My whole family of women are married. So when you say things like women who deal with men, I hope they get raped. I hope they get beat up and knocked upside their head. I hope all this bad stuff would happen to them. And I'm like, why would you say that? And we got an argument about that, because I'm like,
that's the woman that's leader of women, y'all. Princella, the QueenBreaker. But really what she does is that she takes all the the pimp logic and man logic, and she just exploits that against women. Right? So anyways, let's keep watching, y'all. This is how she talks to women who deal with men, family. Let's keep watching.
I don't think that that's okay to say those things. To wish great on a woman for dealing with a man, to wish abuse on a woman because she's dealing with a man, that's crazy to me. And that's in your heart. And that came out. And there's a lot of stuff in her heart that will come out. And it came out in bitterness and anger and hate. So I wasn't agreeing with that. And of course, me being like a boy mom or a woman with boys, you know, she wanted to play into that whole, like, she would get mad at me for being, that's why she always was going in. Like, she went in on women that have boys, but she really started going in because she wanted me to look at them a certain way. I said, my sons know how to wipe themselves properly. Have you been teaching your child to wipe herself properly? My sons know how to get in the bathtub and take care of themselves. My sons have hot meals at home. Are you doing those things before you want to sit there and talk about my boys? Are you doing these things for your child? And if you're not doing those things for your child, you have no room to say these things. You have no room to say these things. I never came on here to be perfect. I'm not. I'm perfectly imperfect. I think my YouTube channel says a lot of what I've been through in my life and what I've learned in my life. But I don't come on here as a savior complex. And I think a lot of women who are hurt collectively, a lot of Black women especially, we are hurting. But you got to protect your spirit and energy and what you're allowing in your life and what you're listening to. Because when I asked her, what's the end goal? Well, first of all, when I asked her, what inspires you to write the 41 Shades of Men? She said, I lost my job and I needed some money, quick.
Did y'all hear that? The funny thing is, right, there's so much trauma in the Black community that because the trauma itself is kind of like cultivated and encouraged, when you have people who've been traumatized and they get together, they try to build off that trauma, and it turns into like a self-eating fire or a self-eating flame, a self-eating inferno. And this is exactly what's going on here. You have this woman who knows how to play on the heartstrings of traumatized Black women and monetize it, make money off of it, and give them an enemy in order to, separate themselves and make themselves an entire community by themselves. So, and the whole thing is a hustle. The whole thing is a hustle. She's out here writing books because she's broke. Not because she cared about anything, but she says, and that's why it's easy for someone like this to go and copy the talking points of so many different people. Go listen to how she speak. 50% Jesse Jackson, 50% Louis Farrakhan, 50% Kevin Samuels. You know, her whole makeup is like angry man. But most of all, she's 100% hustler. But we're going to get into that in a minute. Let's keep watching, y'all.
What? I was thinking as a writer, I'm thinking this is like an inspirational story. I'm thinking this is a story that, you know, okay, I want to write this because I love women and I want to help women. And I just put it out there because, you know, whatever. She literally said, I got fired from my job and I needed quick money. She was a car salesman back in her day. She hung around pimps. She's been in the Black Islamic Nation of Islam community. She's been in the pro-Black community. She's been around preachers, pastors.
Wallahi, I said this. I said this on LTTV channel, I believe it was. I was there, right? And we were talking about Princella, and I said with my own mouth, I said, it seems to me that she's influenced by Louis Farrakhan, Christian preachers. I said all this because the way she speaks, she definitely influenced by Kevin Samuels. I said all of that. And this just confirmed exactly what I was saying. Y'all hearing me? This is crazy. This is so crazy, man. But wait, there's more. There's more, and then we're going to get into the meat. I promise you, right? 1 second, fam. Let me just cue this up. All right, y'all. Let's watch this part, yo.
That you say is a weirdo, and you left your daughter with her alone. You left your daughter alone with some women you do not know.
Can I tell my truth?
Yeah.
Okay. So about a year ago, I got an email, and it was from a woman, and she wanted me to expose Priscilla. I still have the email. I still have it saved. I'm not going to bring it up because it's just not necessary. But apparently this woman had a cult. This was before YouTube. And with the cult that she...
Did y'all hear that? Princella led a whole cult, which, again, you know, not surprised. Not surprised if y'all ever heard how she speak. It's not surprising at all. Let's keep watching.
started, there are women that are victims of this cult, and they've been looking for a platform to like come out and speak their truth. I didn't feel comfortable getting involved at that time because I was just trying to get to know Priscilla. I didn't know her. And you know, people they lie on people, you know, because they may see this person doing well, or they may see this person like, you know, gaining success and things like that. And I did not want to get involved. Y'all know that when it comes to my platform, I don't expose people. And this information was not on the internet yet. And so since it wasn't on the internet, I just didn't feel comfortable being the one to put that information out here. But then B. Taylor's telling me her story, and I read the email. There are several other victims. She is not the only one. And I know y'all don't want to see her as a victim. Don't.
A dirty girl.
You can't make this crap up. So, Princella been doing this for a long time, running cults, all kind of stuff. Okay, which now leads us to the meat and potatoes. Okay. Why are we talking about Princella today? Like, why? Like, it's not typical of the Feachaz to deal with stuff like this. And this is actually a very, very, very important topic, believe it or not. It's very important. We're getting into it right now. Okay? This is so crazy. And I can't believe that Muslims are out here repeating. Wallahi, I had an argument with a, not an argument. I wouldn't say argument even. But the sister on Instagram, because I commented on one of her videos. And the way that she spoke, I could tell she's watching Princella. I could tell. Because, you know, people just borrow from each other, steal from each other. You know, and she's a full, you know, hijabi, black hijabi, African hijabi, everything, you name it. Talking about men like they're aliens or something. You know what I mean? So I left some comment and she made like a whole video response against me on Instagram. Right? This is a true story. This is a true story. So I never forgot that, right? Because I'm not going to respond back to her, right? Because I left a comment on her thing, basically telling her that this is feminism, blah, 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 right? You know what I mean? But it was obvious to me that this sister, she listened to Princella, right? And you'll find there's an element within the Black Muslim community that are pushing Black women into this stuff. It's insane. It's absolutely bonkers. A brother was telling me a couple of weeks ago that he saw out there in of course Philly, of course. I think it was Philly or New York or whatever, right? Hijabi sister holding hands with her lesbian lover in hijab and niqab and everything. It's nuts. But I digress. Let me just get this one thing up here for y'all. 1 second, family. So we're gonna go back to this thing here. 1 second, yo. All
A
right, fam.
dirty girl.
1 second. Watch this, y'all.
Mike,
Yeah.
because you said that the Matrix shifted the resources into male hands, right? That men dominate the resources. If women are resource dependent, I grant you that. So, and you said that everybody depends on Mother Earth, on the Earth for the resources. Why weren't those resources put in women's hands?
It was put in women's hands.
How?
Who conquered? First of all, the
Hold on,
oldest.
wait. I did ask you a question, but let me ask you context. Let me ask some context. Let me ask some context. So, because you just said something that was, and I had to add some more context based on what you just said. So you said the resources were in women's hands. How did, if it was initially in women's hands, then how did women lose the resource?
It's real simple. The same way that everybody lose stuff, through male violence. Okay. Here's the thing. Let's stop acting like colonialism and all of these violent.
So she's saying that women used to run the earth, and until male violence, as usual, usurped the possession from women into the hands of men. That's her argument here. Okay. But the point is, she's saying male violence. Okay. Let's keep watching, you.
Acts did not take place. How did black folks lose all of the stuff that they've had? How did black people lose the credit for the creations that they've ever created? See, y'all ask these questions, but y'all act like y'all don't know the answers to them, because the first people that came over here and did all of that, right?
Now, this was like last year, like way back 8 months ago, 7-8 months ago. Okay, that this thing happened. And when she started speaking, I was like, okay, yeah, she's in the pro-black sector, as was stated by B. Taylor or whatnot. I said it way back then. And I said it on LTTV channel that it seems to me she listened to Farrakhan, these type of things, right? Right. But the point is, she has a system that she has developed of copying other men and just spinning it, the exact same narratives, to make the victim in the story or the tale women. That's it. Right. So now she's taking the pro-black sector and saying that male violence was what caused women to lose their resources. Okay, so let's keep watching, you.
They did it through brutality. Okay, so the oldest bones to be discovered on planet Earth are of a female, not a male. I'm pretty sure the majority of y'all, probably all of y'all, ain't never even read When God Was a Woman. I bet you haven't read that. Okay, you probably don't even know that's a book that exists. Okay, I bet you haven't. I know you.
Wait, Priscilla, you're going too far. You're going too far.
No.
The reason why I asked this question. Wait, Mr. Lego.
Hold on, y'all. You got it after Sweeney.
Mr. Lego, I'm gonna let you have this right after this. So you said that women had the resources. We all had access to resources, and then you said men came in and violently took it from women.
Just like they take everything else. How do y'all lose stuff in y'all's neighborhood? Listen, y'all.
No, wait. I don't need you to go on another tangent. In other words, even if you did have access to the resources, you don't have the capacity to even defend it, because everybody takes things via violence. No matter what you look on this planet, everybody, when shit needs to get taken, when shit needs to get done, if you want that land and I want that land, there's only one way we can handle this. Now, I'm gonna let Mr. Lego have it, because I agree with you. Men do take shit through violence. But that's how. But if it was left up to y'all would do the same thing.
No, we wouldn't.
Worse. Y'all would do worse.
No, we wouldn't.
So that's the point I wanted you to hear. She says that women would not take things by violence. Correct. That's her argument. She is saying that women should accept lesbianism because men are violent. That's her whole argument. Now, let us conclude where we're going with this. You see, the trauma of Black women is absolutely real. It is a very, very, very real thing. You understand? And it's a very serious thing. And it is so serious that the very enemy that has traumatized Black women are also giving them the solutions for their problems. And if your enemy is giving you solutions for your problems, you got a major problem. Okay? You have a major problem, which is why, and it's not to be cliche, but Islam in reality is the actual solution for us. And that's a different topic for a different time. But the point I want to make here is that Princella, she is the one who said that women are not violent, men are violent, and on and on and on and on. Well, this right here is from ncadv.org. Okay? Domestic violence in and the LGBTQ community. 9 quick statistics. Okay, so the first statistic they brought out, this one is in 2018. This study actually went viral, right? And so many different organizations covered it. You can very easily Google it, right? Almost all major and minor publications and blogs covered this, right? But we'll just give you a couple, okay? 43.8% of lesbian women and 61.1% of bisexual women have experienced the R word, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner at some point in their lifetime, as opposed to 35% of heterosexual women. You see, it may very well be, and I do agree, that women do not have the propensity to commit violence as men. I agree with that. But there is an exception to this rule. And the exception is the very same relationships that Princella is ordering Black women to get themselves involved in, as experienced by B. Taylor herself. A straight Black woman who had no intention of getting into this relationship at all. And she, the entire time, if you watch her whole spiel, she's saying, I'm not gay or anything like that. I've never been gay. I like men, blah, blah, blah. And I found myself in this relationship due to vulnerability, as women, they do, right? She found herself in a very precarious situation because of trauma. The trauma of Black women is so thick, it's almost tangible. It's a very, very real thing. And trauma that is not dealt with will lead you to do some crazy things. Here's another one. Abuse in lesbian relationships. This is from standoff.ov.org, okay? It gives the same stats. This one is in 2023, so this is more recent. 61% of bisexual women and 44% of lesbian women surveyed in 2013 reported some type of intimate partner violence as compared to 35% of straight women. Intimate partner violence includes emotional, verbal abuse, physical abuse, stalking, assault, and more. This is exactly what B. Taylor found, the situation B. Taylor found herself in. And when you ask folks like Princella, who are cult leaders, they're very good at the gift of gab, but when you ask them for their stats and whatnot, they got nothing for you. All they have is the gift of rhetoric, the ability to speak. And she's very gifted at speaking. One of the things that B. Taylor mentioned in her live that she did is that Princella, she's not a reader. What she does is that she listens to other speakers, okay? She listens to other speakers and how they use their rhetoric, and she uses it in the same way. There's a portion of speech which is like magic. And that she understands that portion. This one here. A guide to lesbian divorce and retirement. Same-sex marriages are on the rise. Oh, this one is from thestreet.com, okay? Same-sex marriages are on the rise. And so are same-sex divorces, particularly lesbian divorces. Same-sex divorces rose 40.4% from 2019 to 2020 to 1,154, and the vast majority, 71.3%, were lesbian divorces. These, Princella, are what we call around these parts the facts, okay? These are the facts. So, Princella, again, she cannot be passed off as a quack or a kook because she has a very large following. On any given live she does, she has the upward mobility of garnering 100,000 to even 500,000 views on a single video. Okay? She has that type of reach. And her followers are very loyal. Very, very loyal. And it's like anything else. For those of y'all who, we talked about the crowd a couple of times, the crowd from Gustave Le Bon, right? When you want to lead the people, you tell them what they want to hear. She has built she has cut out an entire niche for herself of man-hating single moms and over the hill, hit the wall black women and fed up black women and fed up, all these women who are tired of relationships with men and blah, 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 or who can't get a man. And she cut an entire niche out of that and is profiting off of it while not actually believing in the things that she says, okay? She's doing it for profit. And has an entire cult following behind it. While all at the same time, not taking care of her own child, right? As we heard, right? Not even cleaning her place up or her child.
A dirty girl.
Y'all hearing me? You're doing all kind of craziness. She is the very thing that she's talking about. And at the same time, while she's trying to get into what she's trying to do is essentially turn straight woman, right? Trying to turn straight woman. And she tried to do that with B. Simone. And she does all these atypical sociopathic psychological tricks like gaslighting, like what you would call it, like a very aggressive, violent statements and actions. If you listen to what B Taylor says, she throw things around and yell and scream and all kind of stuff. Right? She is the man that she's refuting. She's that very person. And she is profiting big from it. So for me, I'm kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You can say I'm like internally divided about her, because at one instance, she is absolutely, she's a demon. She is a demon. Let's call her for what she is. She's a demon. She's someone who's calling to the hellfire. And she's ungodly, very ungodly, just ridiculously ungodly. But at the same time, when I'm looking at her, I'm wondering, is she doing the Black community a service? That's what I'm wondering in my head. Is she doing the Black community a service by gathering up, like the Pied Piper, all of these undesirable women who can't hold a relationship anyways, and are only there because she is telling them exactly what they want to hear? So now these same women voluntarily remove themselves from the market of dealing with men, thus giving a whole world of Black men some peace. Inadvertently so as well. I'm conflicted about that. Very conflicted. She's not a good person. She's a very wicked, evil person. She's not sincere. But she has, essentially, inadvertently cleaned up. Literally, you can watch her videos at on any given day. Cleaned up hundreds and thousands, and just kind of removed like hundreds of thousands of these Black women from the the atypical male-female relationship pool. Y'all hear me? And you see even copycats of her online as well. Black women are copying her whole shtick. Like they're like looking at her and they're building channels, basically, even down to the talking points, everything. Men are this, men are this, men are this, men are this, men are this. So Black Man, he says, Assalamu Alaikum, I can help with that internal division about her. Both can be true. She's an ungodly Pied Piper for the idiots. That's what I'm saying. Like, now these women will be taken out of our presence. And they'll follow her right off the cliff where they belong. Y'all hearing me? I don't know anyone more popular than her doing what she's doing. I can't. I don't know. Not even from white YouTube or YouTube proper or whatever. Y'all hearing me? What she is doing is very, very niche. Very niche. She takes the talking points of Kevin Samuels, the speaking style of Louis Farrakhan, the inflection of Jesse Jackson, the dress code of Angry Man, and meshes it into this persona that we see as Princella and builds an entire cult behind it, while living as a dusty beta male. That's how she lived. She lived as a dusty beta male, and she's making all this money. Ridiculous amounts of money. You know, just absurd amounts of money. Y'all hearing me? But what is very sad is that Muslim women, as I mentioned before, are using the very same talking points she uses it and are spreading it around the black community, which is why we did this to begin with. We cannot act as Muslims that we don't have this issue of the LGBT in the black community. As a matter of fact, black people, when it comes to the LGBTQ, we are probably the worst when it comes to producing those types because of broken families, because of trauma, because of all these issues that are not dealt with. We have so much trauma going on, and then anybody can come along and do this type, build an entire cult behind it. A married woman with a child, a whole child, and she's still married, running around, living the life of a black male pimp. Tika says, how can you be internally divided about her when you know she's a poser, and you can't be conflicted about someone leading the misguided to even more misguidance? I'm conflicted because now those women who are just out there making the lives of everybody else in the black community just miserable have found a new community to go to where they can go and essentially self-exile themselves from us. That's the conflict. Because they weren't going to be guided anyways. No amount of telling this woman or convincing or nice treatment or whatever, it wasn't going to convince them. Every problem they have in life is never their fault. Absolutely unaccountable. Totally unaccountable. And we know this is a fact. If you're black, you know this is a fact. We have a massive, massive issue in the black community of unaccountable black women. Thus, we have an entire, just millions of black women who are dying alone, unmarried, with kids all over the place. That's why you have things like Passport Bros and MGTOW and these type of things. Because of the rampant unaccountability in the black community, particularly with black women. Does it mean that black women are not traumatized? No, it does not mean that. Does it mean that we are looking down on black trauma? That does not mean that either. However, like I said before, when your enemy inflicts this pain on you, then your enemy turns around and gives you the solution, like black feminism, like welfare, like mass incarceration and war on drugs. Your enemy is giving you the solution for your problems. And then you start accepting your solution to your problems from the enemy, you're going to have even more problems. Okay? So these women, they weren't about the black family to begin with. Y'all hearing me? They weren't about the black family to begin with. Black Mind says she may have been a victim of a scammer, but now she's a minor Dajjal with her own scamming victims. Yeah. That's exactly who she is. You feel me? Otherwise, we wouldn't talk about her at all. Because we're not in her spaces, she's not in our spaces. The real issue is that her message is spreading far and wide, and now the truth has come out, which is why we're bringing her up now. All right, family. Sorry for all the sound problems. All right. We did it, but we did it again. We did it. We made it through. Jazakallah khair. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'll see y'all. If not tomorrow, then I think coming back on Tuesday, inshallah. So I'll see y'all on Tuesday, inshallah. Barakallahu hamdik wa shalla ant wa astaghfiru wa atubu ilaik. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.